Hi friends, welcome back to Codelligent. In our previous videos, we have seen the various collections which are available in Python, like lists, tuples, dictionaries, and set. To make that understanding even more stronger, in this video, we will try to mix all these collections and form a bigger collection, and we'll see how we can retrieve values from such a mixed collection. So let's get started. So now we are in the Visual Studio Code and I have created a new py file, and now we will create a mixed collection. So for example, if we want to store the details of an organization, so I'll create the variable as my org details, which is nothing but a collection. And in the collection, my first entry will be like, what is the name of the organization? So for example, the organization name is Codelligent. Next, where it is headquartered. Maybe I can say headquarters, and maybe the headquarters is in Munich. Next, I want to store the location of the headquarters, the exact location. Imagine if you are taking this collection of data for a website and you want to locate it on the Google Maps, then you will need the exact latitude and longitude of the headquarters. So I will use locations, and since this is not going to change and it is related values of latitude and longitude, I will use a tuple to store that. So maybe some value, some random value. So this is a tuple value which I have stored for locations. Next, what is the head count of the total employees in the organization? So maybe employees, and I will say maybe around 650 are the total employees. So now you can see there is a data which is stored as integer. These are all strings. Next, what are the various departments we have? So I can say DEPTs for department. And again, this will be a list because there will be multiple departments in an organization. So I'll make it as a list. And I want to store more information regarding the departments. Like I want to store what is the department and how many employees are there in that department and who are the leads for that department. So for that, in this list, I will use again a dictionary. So I'll use a dictionary. So we'll see how that goes in. So in this dictionary, I will say name, which is nothing but HR. So this is the name of the department, that is HR department. Next, I'll say employees. That means how many employees are there in this department. So I will say around maybe 30. I'll say leads. So in double quotes, leads. That means I have multiple leads for this department based on various locations. So again, this will be a different collection. So maybe I'll use a tuple since this is not going to change for me. So this will be again a tuple where I want to store again multiple data related to each lead. So again, inside the tuple, I want one more dictionary wherein I'll say the name. So for example, the name is John, and maybe the location. John is lead of which location? So maybe USA. And similar to that, HR department exists in some other place as well. Then I will say name, and I will say maybe Rahul, and the location is, it should be in double quotes, maybe Singapore. So the HR department exists at two places, so in USA and in Singapore. So because of that, I have two leads. Now this is an entry for one department. Similar to that, I can have one more department. I'll just copy paste this, and maybe the department is IT, and employees, maybe there are some 250 employees in IT department, and I have it in two locations. Maybe one is in Germany and one is in India, and the name of the head or the name of the lead for IT department in Germany is Alex, and for India it is Raj. So this is the set of leads for the IT department. So now you have to be very, very careful when you are handling with these many multiple brackets. So if you see, this particular bracket ends here and this particular bracket ends here. So these are the two dictionaries which are enclosed in this particular tuple. So this bracket ends here. Again, this is one more dictionary, and this is collection of dictionaries which is enclosed inside a list. So this departments end with this list, and you can put a comma here. And now you want to store the locations of the offices, like where all, irrespective of the department, where all this organization has offices. So for that, maybe I'll add one more offices entry, and maybe I'll use a set because the locations will be unique. I won't be repeating it. So it will be like, for example, Germany, and we have it in USA as well. We have it in Singapore, and we have it in India, and apart from that, maybe we'll have it in Denmark. So we can have multiple entries here again, like for example HR, IT, there can be some sales or marketing department which exists in Denmark, so we can enter that as well if you want. But for this example, I'll try to limit it here. So now if you see, this is our complete collection, and we have a complete big collection in a dictionary in which we have a key value pairs. These both are a string type, and you have a string key and a integer value as well. We have a string key and a tuple value as well. We have a string key and a list value as well. Inside the list we have again a dictionaries, multiple dictionaries. Each dictionary has again a key value pairs, and in that as well one key is having a value again in tuple, and each tuple is again a dictionary, a collection of dictionaries. And here we have a key value pair of string key and a set as a value. So these are mixing up of all the different types of collections which we have. And so maybe I'll say py mixed collections.py. You can see everything works fine, there is no error. Now we have to see how we will retrieve the data from this. So let's see what all we want to retrieve. First, maybe I want to see who is the head of IT in India. So this will be my first question. So in this, if you see in the organization, we have to first go to the departments because we want to specifically see for IT department. In the department, we have to go to the IT department. In the IT department, we have multiple leads, and I have to specifically look for the name of the lead for the India location. So let's see how we can retrieve that. So I'll say head equal to my organization details of. So if you see, we have multiple entries in which I am interested in departments. So I'll say departments. Now when we say my organization details of departments, you will get this much. So we will get this particular list. So again, since the output of this is a list, we will have to again use a parenthesis for the indexing. So I am interested in IT department, which is like in this list is the second element. So index of 1. So here I will use index of 1. So now when we say index of 1, you will get again this much data, which is again of type dictionary. So that means again it is a collection. So we have to extract the value based on the key value pairs, based on the keys. And we are interested in the leads. So again you will have to open a parenthesis, and here you will have to give the key. So the key is leads. Now when we say leads, you will again get a tuple. So under the keys, if you give the key leads, you have the value as a tuple. So you will get this particular collection. In the tuple, again you are interested in the second element, which is the India location. So you will have to use index of 1. So now when you use index of 1, you will get this data, which is again a dictionary, which is again a key value pair, and you are interested in the name key. So on this you will apply the key as name. So now you see how complicated it becomes when you mix so many different type of collections. So let's execute this and see what is output. Maybe before that we have to print. So I'll say print of head. So let's execute this and we get it as Raj, which is exactly what we were looking for. So now let's try to extract more data out of this collection. My next question will be, where all we have offices for Codelligent. So this is my second question, wherein I want to extract all the offices where the Codelligent is located. So which seems pretty simple, because we have in the bigger collection itself, we have a key called offices and we can extract that. And I just want to print those values in comma separated. So what we can do is maybe I'll say offices equal to my org details of, and we have directly offices, which I'll get it. But when we extract this, this is a type dictionary. So if you see the officers key, the value is type dictionary. And now I want to loop in this dictionary and print them in one line with comma separation. So what I can do is for, and if you see this particular collection is a set, so I can use maybe some variable n in offices, and now I can print them. So I'll say print of n, but since I don't want it in multiple lines, I want it in a single line with a comma separation, I can use the end attribute, and inside the end I can give, instead of the default new line, take comma as the separator. Now let's execute and see what is the output. Now you can see it prints India, Germany, Singapore, Denmark, USA in one line. Now let's see some more information. I want to extract some more complicated data. So for example, my next question will be, how many employees are there in total, and out of them how many are in HR department? So this is my next question. So we want two values now. What is the total head count of the organization, and out of that how many are in HR department? So let's see how to extract this. First I will try to get the total head count. So I'll say total EMPs, maybe total employees, and which is pretty straightforward. If I say my org details of employees, I'll get the total head count. But then we need to extract for the HR department. So I'll say HR employees is equal to, I'll say my org details of, now we have to go inside the departments. So now I'll go inside the departments. So when you extract the departments, now you have this particular list in which we are interested in the first element. So in this list, we will go to the first element, that is 0th index. Now once we get the 0th index, we will be getting this particular data, which is again a dictionary. So in this dictionary, we have the key value pairs, and we are interested in the number of employees. So the key for that entry is employees. So what we'll do is, now here we have to pass the key as employees. So now with this, you will get the count for the HR department employees. So let's print that and let's see what happens. So we'll say print, I will say total employees, comma, total employees, colon, comma, I'll say total employees, and I'll say HR employees, and I'll print HR EMPS. So let's execute this and see what is the output. Okay, so since we were using a print of end here on the before one, so after this print, it was still continuing on the same line. It didn't go to the new line. That's why the new print which happened, it happened on the same line. So while using this end, you should be very careful. So to solve this problem, we can use an extra print in between, which will bring this cursor down, and whatever you do the next printing, it will just go to the new line. So this is a problem when you're using end, because after doing the last print, since the end is comma, it will just enter a comma and it will keep the cursor in the same line. It will not go to the new line, and then whenever you use print again, it will print from there. So which you can avoid by using a just blank print after this particular looping. So now this is a way how you can extract the data from inside a complicated collections. This will not be a daily scenario in your real life programming, because this much complicated data you don't maintain. It will become too much error prone. But this was just to show an extreme case where you have multiple collections nested inside different collections. So it's a collection of dictionaries, sets, tuples, lists, everything is mixed up here. Now at this point, maybe I'll introduce you to one more small formatting related to the print. So we are doing like this, wherein we are passing 4 parameters to print with a comma. Instead of this, you have a better way to print this. So you can say print, and before starting the double quotes, now you can use a small f, that is small letter f, and then put the double quotes. So now what happens is it understands whatever you are giving in the string is a formatted text. So now what I can do is say total employees are, and I can use curly brace, which will open up the space for my variables, and here it will detect the variables. So I can say total employees, and there is a spelling mistake here. Yep. And total employees are this, and HR employees are, again curly braces, and I'll put HREMPS variable. So this way you can format your text however you want. So when you print this, you can see it formats it in a nice statement format, wherein this is a complete statement. In between you have inserted some of your variables. So this formatting of the string is a very good option when you want to customize your printing in a very nice formatted text way. So hope this video was useful. Hope you were able to understand how you will deal with multiple collections when it is nested inside. If you're liking the video, if you are finding it useful, please do consider subscribing the channel and hit the bell icon so that you don't miss the notification for our further videos. Thank you.